The reason why you are not getting approached is because these men see you as a woman with high value.
Okay, I have a question for men. Why don't you guys approach us in public? It's so frustrating.
If you are a man who needs to speak to me and I don't know you, I need you to find a tiny piece of stationery and I need you to write your itty bitty little message with as few words as possible. Then I need you to fold it.
You will not believe this, but these women are still out here asking why aren't men approaching women? Well, the answer to that question is pretty simple. Men are tired of doing the chasing, tired of being accused and being put all over social media being labeled as a creep. You got your wish. This is how you wanted it.
Okay, I have a question for men. Why don't you guys approach us in public? It's so frustrating. Like, I just went to Lowe's and I was walking around grabbing some supplies for my move and I made eye contact with like 3 different guys. I was smiling, I was just like doing my thing and nobody came up to me. They almost seemed like annoyed that I was looking at them. It's just such a weird world we're in. I guess everyone uses online dating apps, but if you guys would just like approach a girl, I'm telling you 99% of women would love it. Like, all you have to say is like, you know, oh, I love your shoes, or, you know, do you need help with this, or literally anything, and you'll be able to tell right away if she's like vibing with you, or if she's into you, or if she's not interested and has a boyfriend. Like, she'll probably just like be a little bit more shy and walk away or something. Like,
it's not that men can't approach a woman, it's just the troubles that may come with that while trying to approach her. A lot of times girls be saying, I want a man to approach me, but then it doesn't really get anywhere. Especially now, approaching a girl, you got to be careful. Don't end up on social media. It's not worth ruining your life.
You're a woman that goes into the gym and you ask yourself, why don't I get approached by these men? The reason why you are not getting approached is because these men see you as a woman with high value.
What?
If you are not getting approached in a place where everyone's breaking their necks to stare at you, they know that if they approach you, you will hurt their ego.
What are you talking about, man?
And they know that you are better than them. Men can sense if a woman is better than them, and that intimidates them. That just makes them scared. And personally, I take this as a compliment if I'm out in public getting a lot of stares.
This woman here is obviously on an ego trip. It's just that the type of men she wants are not approaching her, and maybe those guys don't want to end up in a TikTok video getting labeled as a creep or pervy, or she's just not attracted enough, and men are not intimidated. There's just too many risks that comes with approaching a woman today. For example, this one. As you can see, this man is disabled. Now, under no circumstances she's obligated to give out her number because of that. But she went the extra mile, making fun of his disability. That was just unnecessary. She is cruel. She's going to regret her actions. Karma is crazy. All those women standing around and no one did anything? Wow. Life will teach her the biggest lesson from this. Wait on it. Her parents must be so proud. Hope this man keeps his head up.
Ding, ding, ding! Ding, ding, ding! Right on the money! Right on the money!
Thank you. Finally, a man gets it.
What is she so happy about, I wonder? This is the same woman who will be crying 10 years from now saying, men don't want me. How is this even something to celebrate over? That's just negative energy.
So to address the few comments that I got like this before I hop into work real quick, whistling at someone is not a compliment, and there are hundreds of women in the comments saying that. I don't understand how men can continuously ignore women's opinions and think that they're still going to get attention from them and that they're still going to get some type of good reaction. If a woman is saying they hate it, maybe you should listen to them and you would get more women's attention in a positive manner.
Well, that comes down to preference. But whistling at someone's is not disrespectful at all. It's a way to get someone's attention. Of course, some people don't like that. But at least she didn't call those guys creepy for whistling.
If you are a man who needs to speak to me and I don't know you, I need you to find a tiny piece of stationery and I need you to write your itty bitty little message with as few words as possible. Then I need you to fold your little stationery into a tiny little aerodynamic airplane and slowly release it into my direct path. If I catch it from the air and read it, we'll probably get married. And if not, then just direct your question to another man. That's correct. Thank you.
Basically, what she means is that the chances of her speaking to you is 0. Now let's look at it from a man's perspective.
Noticing a lot of females wonder why dudes don't try to holler at them anymore. It's not because you're ugly or anything like that. It's just that shit has become so difficult. Back in the day, the worst thing we had to worry about was getting rejected. Nowadays, we got to worry about getting screenshot, called thirsty, and the worst of them all, getting a video of us getting rejected, put on the internet. The funny thing about the females who like to screenshot and call you thirsty is when a screenshot is coming from a text message conversation that y'all had. How thirsty can I possibly be if I already have your number? Y'all never fail to mention that he's thirsty, but y'all always fail to mention how he got your number.
So apparently single men are starting to become afraid to approach women in real life because they don't want to be viewed as creepy. Around like 53% according to this one study. And I just really think that is not enough. Run the percentage up. Run the percentage up. This is not a bad thing. This is not a bad thing, and I'm going to tell you why. A man being concerned about being viewed as creepy while approaching a woman shows an awareness of the reality of violence that women face when they're approached by men, when they deal with men, when they're talked to by men, when they're harassed by men, cackled by men, etc. And he does not want to be a part of said reality. There is literally nothing negative about men starting to be hyper aware of how they're interacting with women. There's no negative to that.
No, madam, you are missing the point. The difference is that men are being accused for things they did not commit. Example, when the gym girls kept going around, recording men and posting them on TikTok and saying they're being followed. Those things were not true at all.
Because it's been on the other end of the spectrum for so long, right? Like men have been so used to women being at their disposal and their availability whenever they want to, right? That now some men see it as a slight that, oh my God, I have to worry about being viewed as a creep. You have to worry about being viewed as a creep while we have to worry about death. This is not a slight to you if you are concerned about being viewed as creepy. You should be. You should be thinking, how am I going to approach this woman in a way that is not going to scare her, that is not going to creep her out or freak her out or make her feel like I am dangerous. You should absolutely be thinking that. And then for the men that are like, well, how am I supposed to date women now? Oh my gosh, like, how am I supposed to go on dates? Do you hear yourself? Your complaint is that going out on dates with women is now going to be harder for you. That doesn't sound like the most privileged thing. Being harder for y'all to approach us is not oppression. That is not a slight to you. That is a byproduct of the violence that we have to deal with and face. It's a byproduct of all these other men in the world.
First, I would like to point out that everyone has to worry about death. She made it seem like it's only women who has to worry about that. But guys, the simplest way to stay out of trouble or being accused is simply not to approach women. Then again, they're gonna start posting and asking why. It's an endless loop, I tell ya.
Slip it. By accident.
I make too much money to let that shit happen.
What? How much money do you, how much money you make a year?
30,000 a year.
Okay. How much?
30,000 a year.
How much money you make at the end of the year?
I make 14,000 a month.
I'm not impressed.
I didn't ask you for your but I told you how much I make a month.
Good for you.
How do you make that in a month?
I sell solar.
Solar?
Solar, yeah.
So you make 14 grand a month?
Yes.